Well, another Saturday night, and here we are again. And I just want to say that I really appreciate all y'all that are out there and join us tonight. I really do appreciate you. Thank you very much for being here. We have Jerry Brown is going to be in the house tonight, and he is going to show us his work, and I think he's going to be making a few things, if I'm not mistaken. But really good to have you, and I'm looking over there in the chat. I think we got a full chat over there. Everybody's over there. I appreciate y'all all being over there in the chat very much. So, but Jerry's with his YouTube channel is Polly Wants a Crafter, and I really like that name, and we'll get back to that. But Jerry, I'll let everybody introduce themselves, and you'll be the last because you're the guest. So a few things I need to talk about. Let's don't forget about the website giveaway, and that is being held by Devobel Technologies over at devobel.com. They are my sponsor, one of my sponsors. Matter of fact, my main big sponsor. I appreciate them. I appreciate Frank and his crew and what they've done for me. If you want to see what they've done for me, if you didn't see my old website, you can go check out my new website at simplywoodencreations.com. They've totally did that website for me, and I'm very, very proud of it, and I love it to death. And so they're giving away, through me, a total website, 100% free. They're doing hosting, they're doing email, you have tech support. All you have to do is go over to simplywoodencreations.com/contest/giveaway, or just go across the top bar where you see contest. There will be a little drop box that says giveaway. Go into there and you can read all the information on what you're getting and how to enter. And so, I mean, that's about a $3,500. Somebody walked up to me and handed me $3,500. I'd be happy. So you're looking at about a $3,500 giveaway that they're giving to someone. And I've had several people even email me and say, well, this is for 1 year or 2 year. No, this is for pretty well lifetime. In other words, as long as you're around and they're around, you're going to get a free website. So it's pretty well lifetime. Great people to work for. And since I'm going over that, excuse me, but Devobel Technologies, web design, development, and hosting, visit devobel.com. My other sponsor is Olivewood 2000. For beautiful, elegant, Holy Land olive wood, visit Olivewood 2000 over on eBay. Go by and check them out. That's some beautiful wood. I've turned some pins with it. It turns easy, nice, beautiful wood. And also FastCap, innovative products for the professional woodworker. Go to fastcap.com. They just sent me a P210 kit that we gave away here a couple of weeks ago, and so I've sent that out. I'm sure the person hasn't contacted me yet about getting it, but I'm sure they have gotten it, and I'm waiting to hear from them. I told them I'd like for them to take a picture and send it to me of them holding the P210 kit, so we'll see how that goes. So that's about all I have to say right at this moment. I know Shane, I keep on asking them, but Shane and Shirley, your Mother's Day contest is over. That's all done, and everything's been given away. So
that's right.
Yeah. Do you remember who first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth was?
I do know Side Corner won first place.
Would be right.
Would be right, second place. Oh, wasn't you third place?
Yeah, he was fourth. I think Russ was fourth place.
Fourth. So, offhand, I don't remember. I got the picture somewhere.
Over there.
Well, anyway.
No, I don't know. Sorry.
Yeah, you've got. I was watching the other day. Your little giveaway thing's got quite. Well, you've got what? Last time I checked was 150, 160 views or something like that.
Yeah, actually, the contest went better than what we expected it to, and plus being on a Monday night, that was really good. I really appreciate all the support from our fans, and we've sent out all the gifts already. There's a few that's coming from the actual company, which they have not sent out. I know yours is coming directly from the company, and I've been watching that. They haven't got shipped out, but all of our gifts that were supposed to go to somebody has been shipped out. Now, if you have one and you have not gotten contacted by the person that is giving you the gift, please let me know, and then I will get in contact with them and exchange all the information.
Yeah, not all the gifts.
I haven't gotten my caramels yet. Just
And I have to say, I haven't mailed out my pen yet, but I've been super duper busy. I've got 3 things that I've got to mail out to orders and everything, and I'll be going to the post office Monday morning. So to the guy out there that won the pen, he sent me an email and gave me his address and everything. So I have that. Wasn't it Jim, I think his first name was?
Yeah, I believe so, yes.
Jim. So if you're watching, Jim, I will send it out Monday. It'll be on the way. I'm sorry, just been totally snowed this week with everything going on. So.
Now, we did have a bonus question at the end of the show. I asked everybody that I did a project back in high school that I also done in the wood shop. What was it? And Donna Presley answered it correctly. It was a whatnot shelf, and she won a Dremel 4000, the same one I got Mom. Not the same one, but I got her a new one. It's a Dremel 4000, and she did tell me she has received it already.
Yeah.
Great. Fantastic. All right, guys, let's go. We got a lot to cover. I know Jerry's sitting back there chomping like when they're going to get to me, so we'll get to you, Jerry. Let's go down the list. From on my left, introduce yourself real quick for us and let us know where we can find you. Brian, you're on the far left, so go for it.
I'm always on the far left. Oh, and by the way, Russ, got to get things straight. It's not P210, it's 2P10.
Oh, 2P. 2P or not to P? That is.
Yeah, that's the question. Anyway, my name's Brian Gidney, owner of Summers Woodworking. You can find me on YouTube under Summers Woodworking, or you can go to my website at summerswoodworking.co. I also host a show called the Summers Woodworking Show, and that goes on Friday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern. I'd like to see you on my show, so come check me out.
Yeah, I was on there last night, so if you haven't seen it, go over there and watch that. You can get to see me again, as if I'm not on here enough. So, but we had a good time over there, really did. I enjoyed that. Thank you for inviting me. Next is Chris Ahern.
Hey guys, Chris Ahern here. You usually find me on Facebook under the Old Cranky Workshop, or on YouTube under Chris the Wheeler, or out in my neighborhood pub. But tonight, you can find me in Roanoke, Virginia. At the, the Hotel Roanoke.
So tell them why you're there.
We're on our way to Tennessee. We decided to stop for the night.
Yeah, so that's a dedicated somebody that on the panel. That he's at a motel and doing the show. That's dedicated. I appreciate it.
I would never take my wife to a motel. It's a hotel.
Oh, hotel. Okay.
Now I'm getting a stink eye over here.
Well, tell her thank you for letting you be on. Tell her I said thank you for letting you be on the show tonight.
Russ says thank you for letting me be on the show tonight. I'm all hers after, though.
Okay. We'll make sure we black the screen out after this.
Oh, I was going to leave the camera on, but that's a different topic. Different channel, yes. She says it's a different channel.
Okay, let's move on. Dave, you're next. Oh, Lord.
Thank you, Russ. My name's Dave Gatton. You can find me on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram as Dave Gatton. And I guess that's about it.
And Mr. Donald Matthews as Donald Blogs Flies.
I'm Donald Matthews, and I'm going to leave the difference between the hotel and the motel alone right now. But anyway, I'm Donald Vlogs Flies. My YouTube channel is Donald Vlogs Flies Wood Shop. All my Twitter and Instagram is there on that channel, or the links to it. And I've got a website, redneckknowhow.com. And I think that's all I'm trying to say.
I hope so. All right, so next is John Schaffner.
Thank you, Your Beardness. You can find me on Facebook under my name, and I'm going to have a surprise announcement later on this week concerning a YouTube channel. So
cool.
We'll go from there.
That's fantastic. Then my my twin brother Russ.
I think there was one in between us, and you threw me with that because I don't have my beard work yet. Yeah, Russ Meadows here. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram, and I guess I'm gonna have to get on the Twitter. Rusty Nails Wood Shop.
Gonna have to tweet
And,
a bit.
I call it Twitter anyway. I want to tell Chris Ahern that being as he's on the road, he gets travel pay for this. Check is in the mail.
Who's writing the check? That's a concern.
And then Shane and Shelley.
Hi, everybody. Shelley Cole here, otherwise known as Mom, from the channel Know What Mom Knows. And you can find me on Instagram, but there's nothing there yet. And Twitter, Facebook, which is Know What Mom Knows, Gmail, Know What Mom Knows, YouTube, Know What Mom Knows. I'm forgetting my own name now. Anyways, go over to Shane because I'm forgetting everything. Know What Mom Knows.
It's
Hi,
Mom,
everybody.
isn't it?
Yeah, Mom is the mom.
I was going to say when you said I'm forgetting everything. I was going to say know what mom knows that don't know nothing.
I don't feel bad about calling her Mom Knows Best no more.
We had a laugh about that.
Yep.
Old age now, right?
Yeah. I'm Shane, everybody. Nice to meet y'all. Y'all can find me on all social medias, Facebook, Twitter, all of that, under Shane's Hobby Shop.
Great. And then the man of the hour is Mr. Jerry Brown. How you doing, Jerry?
Doing good. Doing good. I have to unmute myself.
So go ahead and tell us where we can find you, and pretty much the show's yours.
All right. Well, Jerry at Polly Wants a Crafter. We got a website, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Pretty much, it's weird because Instagram I just post to my Facebook anyway, so I don't know why anybody would be on both. But it works. Not like I'm having secret pictures just for the Instagram folks. I did have Twitter and all those other things, and I'm too busy in real life to spend all that time, unfortunately.
Now, I do have one real quick question for you, and that is, where did you come up with the name Polly Wants a Crafter?
It was a weird thing back when I first started, like 2012, when I was watching Laney and Steve Ramsey, and they pulled out the Whirligig Wars. I thought, this is something I could do since I didn't have a job at the time. And I instantly thought, because I have IT backup, I got to see what kind of web names are available. Because there's no point in having a business if you're competing with, 500 Jerry Browns, which unfortunately is a governor that nobody likes in California. So I just looked around, tried the whole woodworking thing, Jerry's Wood Shop, all the weird whatevers. And one of the first projects we were making were the, I guess it's a static mobile of a parrot that would have a balance, and you pull the cord and it would flap its wings. And we nicknamed it Polly. I found one in my mom's garage, or my grandma's garage, when she passed away. And Polly had managed to move with me 4 times, so that was one of my favorite things, one of the few things I kept. And so we said, let's try and name it after Polly. And there is a Polly Wants a Crafter conglomerate, a big group. It's just kind of like a crafters association. But the name was available because they didn't use it. It was slightly different. So I was able to get the name going, and everybody's loved it ever since.
It's definitely unique, because until I saw you, because it makes you think Polly Wants a Cracker. So
yeah,
that's the first thing you think when you probably wants a crafter. Now that's unique. I've never heard that before.
And I also went with crafter because I know the big word now is maker. We were having a debate on that earlier. But I find myself more of a crafter because I craft things. And sometimes I'll use stained glass, I'll use acrylic, metal. It doesn't matter to me. But I don't want to call myself a maker. I'm not really a maker or a content provider. I have made videos, but that's not what I do. I do that for fun, and the crafter, making stuff, is more what I line myself with.
You like me say you do it for fun, but I got news for you. If people only knew, it's a lot of work to produce a YouTube video and get it. And what I would feel in my own personal thing is a quality video, so to speak, out there where people can enjoy it or find useful information on. It's not as easy as people think.
Yeah, it was a hard year. I found out there's a lot of real life that happens for any content creator. And I also have a full-time job, which has afforded me to keep the shop running. And on top of that, we're running about 11 shows a month where we go and we sell the stuff that I make.
Wow.
So it's a really busy life right now.
Well, what do you got for us tonight?
Well, tonight, I got a few examples of some stuff that I've done, mostly on the lathe. Unfortunately, I have a scroll saw, but I haven't been into it that much. I've been really busy.
Shame.
But doing small stuff like bowls. This was a dyed blank that didn't really come out that good. It was like my second bowl ever, but I was messing around with the lathe. I only have the small Harbor Freight lathe, but it's interesting what you can get away with. This was an R2-D2 I did out of a 2x4.
Wow.
That's cool.
This was something I did for Brian's 2x4 challenge. It was going to be a promo intro video. Of course, that took too long, but
now,
it's
go
pretty
back.
good.
Did you say you dyed that bowl, or is that made out of that plywood?
It's the dyed plywood. It came like this, but it was a square.
Okay. Yes.
Different layers.
I like the colors on it.
Me too.
Yeah. The colors are beautiful.
Yeah, it came out kind of looking like a Captain America thing, but it just didn't center right. My lathe must have been out of balance or something. But it's real important to work from the center, that's for sure. I did stems on glasses.
Wow. That's awesome.
And it was pretty fun. That was one of my favorite videos. Trying to break the stems on the lathe really got messy.
Now, I was going to say, now, do you buy the glasses and actually have to break the glass off the end of the stem to put the wood stem on, correct?
Yeah, this one's sitting on my shelf. It broke too weird. It wouldn't work. So the idea of the video was I was going to make a set of 4. I ended up with 1. But it works out. There's actually, if you get creative, I mean, I made an old growth redwood chess piece that was about a foot long, and it was pretty big. It was unfortunately redwood's really soft, and someone was looking at it and dropped it, so it snapped the top off of it. But just messing around with the lathe and getting creative is really stress relieving. And then of course, bottle stoppers.
Yeah, we talked about this earlier when Jerry was. I always open up the show early and invite all the guests in. We have a sit around out of the chat, and when Jerry told me he was going to show off some stuff in his bottle stoppers, and I was thinking like today, what the heck is a bottle stopper? I guess I'm the ignorant person because it really didn't catch what it was, and then all of a sudden it would dawn on me, maybe it's something to put in a bottle like of wine or something. So that's correct, right?
Yeah, they're actually really popular, amazingly. Fairly simple to make. No real limit to what you can make. I mean, I've even taken a square blank, just a regular square blank, and carved a skull into the top with my CNC, and then actually used the lathe to make a bottle stopper. And that was just something creative that was fun to do. I like to make.
I'd like to get another shot of those, the ones you just held up.
These are some of the ones that I've done that aren't up to my standards quite yet. I like the shapes, but the wood split on this one, so it doesn't look as good. But it's just pretty much any shape you want. This is a nice ebony one that we haven't been able to finish. Ebony is really hard to work with. Unfortunately, it cracks a lot. And this style is a gear shift knob. It's got a little insert that looks like a gear shifter for a car.
That is awesome.
And of course, this is my old rack. I made a new one for the shows, but.
Hey Jerry, we got a question in the panel in the chat room from Jim Bashirs. How do you organize your product to take to the many shows a month so it's easy to set up and take down?
Right now, unfortunately, the 30-gallon plastic tubs, we just make sure to wrap everything really careful. And it's pretty much about a 15-minute unload and setup, and then about 20 minutes to take it apart and wrap it all up and pack it back. It's never packed the same way twice. It's unfortunate, but I haven't had time to organize that part.
On a lot of your stuff, what do you usually use as a finish? Like, I mean, you do a wide variety, like the bottle stoppers and stuff like that. But what? Give us an idea of what some of the finishes are that you use.
I use all of them pretty much. I use CA glue for ink pens. These are actually brush-on poly that's gone through 3 or 4 coats, sanded in between, and buffed. So they're really high durability finish. I did do some crystal coat, but it comes out kind of dull. And sometimes, depending on if it's for kids or not, I'll just do a chopper's block oil. I've done some names on the scroll saw with that. But those are some of the main finishes.
How about spray lacquer? You tried that?
I used to use spray lacquer exclusively in the early days, but you're never, I mean, you might be able to, but this high sheen finish, I don't know if you can see the reflection.
It looks like glass.
You can't get that with per se. You can probably after about 20 coats. I did use spray lacquer on some big Texas-shaped signs I did, and it gets expensive too because you go through an entire can on one sign and it's $8 a can.
Yeah.
You just can't get that stuff cheaper. So we're messing around with the brush-on poly a lot and thinning it down with mineral spirits. It just goes on, and 2-3 coats after sanding, you got it looking like glass, and it's just a great protection.
Yeah, I like poly. The only thing that I have a problem with poly is, from my personal experience, even though they say it won't, after years it will yellow.
Yeah, there are some woods I won't use it on pine. It really shows up bad on pine.
Yeah.
But I haven't noticed too much on some of the coat racks that I've done in the early days, with the spray poly at least. There hasn't been any yellowing, so.
Jim Bashirs over in the chat says, does Jerry find that people see things at your craft or at the craft show and ask you to build them something close to what they see? In other words, they see somebody else has something and say, hey, can you make this? Do you have that?
Yeah, we have had a lot of people come up and say, I saw a flag box, but it was like this. Can you do that? Or I saw this on Pinterest. Can you make something like that? I don't mind doing the custom work, but when they do that, it's kind of hard because then they have an expectation of, well, you got to be able to make it cheaper than I can buy it off the internet or from that booth or whatever. And it gets to be a headache on some things, especially with the collecting deposits. That's the hard part.
Oh yeah. Trust me, learned a long time ago, if they want me to make them something custom made, so to speak, I'm going to get a deposit, which is a minimum of 50% up front. And if they don't come through, then they forfeit the deposit. I have it written in a thing. They forfeit the deposit because when they're wanting something custom, and especially if it has some of their initials or name on, you can't get rid of that. It's not like they want you to turn a bottle stopper made of walnut. You can turn around and sell the bottle stopper to somebody else, but if it's got their initials or their name on it, you can't get rid of it. So you better get the money up front, or as much as you can up front.
Yeah.
That's got to be at least 50%. At least your material's covered.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have 2 6-foot-tall Grinches that I did last year. The guy disappeared.
Ah.
It's like, those were expensive to make, and it was a lot of hours to paint, and, but I didn't get a deposit.
You had them in your yard and they disappeared?
No, he disappeared. He ordered them. It's not something I don't really do a lot. I mean, I have been doing some painted projects, but the Grinch for the front yard, the 6-foot-tall Grinch, is completely painted. It was cut out of plywood, painted. I had to do the face and details, and it looks just like the Chuck Jones cartoon. And unfortunately, I didn't collect a deposit or get the guy's number, and he just evaporated. So I've got a couple of those to sell next year. Yeah, they look really good in my room.
We got a bunch of people.
They sure did.
Saying, let's see if it's PL Camp. I think it says, yeah, minimum 50%. Mikey B says minimum 50%, non-refundable. You've got to have at least 50% up front, non-refundable, if you're going to do something custom.
When they ask for custom pins, I don't bother with the deposit because I know I can sell it.
Yeah.
I can honestly say there hasn't been a pen yet that I've made. Somebody said, "Oh my God, that is so tacky, I won't buy it." So that's a good thing.
Yeah. Well, what else? I know you have. Don't you have? You make kaleidoscopes too, don't you?
Oh yeah. We make kaleidoscopes. Unfortunately, they've been selling really well this month, so I don't have an example. I can probably go ahead and make one in a little bit and show you guys that. It's not too bad.
Well, if you want to go ahead and start, that's great. That's fine with me.
Okay. I'll do a quick bottle stopper really fast. They're pretty quick.
Okay.
What I do is you drill this is a special bottle stopper chuck. Drop it, and it just threads into the end. Get it pretty close to center, and it just screws on. They make inserts now for threaded inserts that you do, but it's extra money, and I don't want to cause the customers any more money than it costs. Unfortunately, I can't zoom with this camera, but this is the lathe. It's just the Harbor Freight small lathe, 10 by 18.
I've got the same one. It's not a bad little unit.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah.
Of course, I unplugged it earlier.
It's always the way.
I always use a face shield because I've had things break and it's no fun.
I got the same face shields for the same reason.
Yeah. That's one. I've only been turning on a lathe for a short period of time, and just a few times when I turn, at the beginning I just wore little goggles. Just the little pieces of wood flying off, I learned real quick that, yeah, there's a reason they want you to wear a face shield.
Yep.
I just kind of
Yeah.
Sit back.
Yeah.
Donald just
No, a lot
turns
of
his
times
eyes
I don't
closed.
bother. But it also depends on how I turn and what I'm turning. A pin isn't really going to scare me that much because it's on the shaft. This is loose. It doesn't have anything backing it up.
Yeah.
And I kind of did it off center, so it's going to wobble a little.
And I've kind of noticed that you can kind of tell after a while what piece of wood might give you problems. So when it's a bad one, I just say a little prayer and a Hail Mary just in case beforehand.
Yeah.
I know Gary can't probably hear me, but those of you who can hear, don't let me forget. One of the questions somebody wants to know is how long does it take for them to make a philosophy? So if you can hear me.
What's that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Robert Evans is over there in the house. Hi, Robert. Well, I know I'm new at this turning. But what he's basically doing is getting the square round.
Well, that takes a little bit of time.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of time. He starts off, and it's actually a square block. So as it turns around, it's an outline with his tool and rounding it off. So.
Especially when you're off center to start with, like you said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I like his little carousel he's got over there with his.
Oh yeah, that's me. Mine are in slots right beside the machine.
Yeah, I've got mine. Mine's an old one, and I actually built a frame and mounted it onto a top of a 2x12. And made the frame for it. And what I did was I just went along and on the 2x12. Mine doesn't have rails like his. Mine has a height, so to speak,
right
along it. And I just drilled holes in the frame out of the two and stuck all my tools in the hole right there on that 2x12. So they're right there at me.
That's cool. Yeah, that's not a bad little machine. I've been very impressed with it.
I think a lot of, even their bigger lathe. I know Sterling Davis. There's Charles is using it. I know a lot of people that use their bigger lathe and have really had good success with it.
And I'd go with the bigger one if I had the space. I'm maxed out right now. The point where my lathe is on a mobile cart.
My bandsaw is a Harbor Freight bandsaw, and I swear it's identical to the older Jet bandsaws. I've ordered parts from Jet and it's my bandsaw.
Somebody did a comparison between Harbor Freight's that lathe, and I think it was a Jet, that they were almost, the pieces were identical. They obviously came out of the same molds.
Yeah, the older Jet ones, yes.
Yeah.
My bandsaw, I ordered the I have the riser block in mine. Now, the only thing that I have problems with is that because of poor tooling when I drop
Ooh.
to go to change the depth for the bandsaw blade, it kind of like doesn't get back. It's not real secure, so to speak. So.
I've got a few Harbor Freight benchtop tools. I've had very few problems with them, if any. The Harbor Freight's a whole different show.
Dan, he did over there said he's got the Harbor Freight same way that Jerry's got. We're gonna have to get him to show off that little carousel with the tube on there.
Yeah.
Jim Bashir's over there said, "Yeah, his carousel is neat. I want to see that."
Hey, he's got a video up where he built it.
Does he?
Does he?
Okay.
Yeah.
I tell you
Russ,
what.
can you mute him?
Can I
Russ, can you mute him while he's turning?
Yeah, the problem of it being is, hold on, he's getting through. He heard
He
it.
can hear you.
Well, the problem of it is, Jerry, if I know you and you don't know it, then you'll start talking. So.
Now he's back to turning. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we have, can you keep it on him though, so people can see what he's doing?
Yeah, I'm not taking it off him.
Okay.
That's just funny. I didn't realize he had the headset on. We'd have been talking real bad about him, you know.
How can you talk bad about Jerry? Come on.
Jerry's a nice guy, I know.
Absolutely.
I've been following his videos for years, or I say years, but for the last year, not years. For the
If
last
I had put a
year.
list of 10 together, the first ones I followed, he's in that list.
Yeah.
So.
He impressed me as far as he went with the project a day thing. He was going to try and do.
Yeah, he
300.
did that. Tried to do that 365 projects a day.
I think he got 180 of them done.
Yeah,
That's more better than I could do.
that was impressive. I remember that.
My money was on him.
I watched him do. I mean, when he was doing it, I watched every one of them too.
Yeah. I was enjoying that. I was bummed when he didn't make it. Like So, but what are you gonna do?
Well, look at this way. He's at least talking in his videos.
Absolutely. So.
I remember he wouldn't even say a word.
Yeah, my lathe is an old. It's like a Tool King or some kind of brand. It's an off-brand, but it has a round pipe. It'll do 36-inch like spindles or whatever, and up to a 10-inch bowl. A friend of mine gave it to me. He got him a brand new lathe, and I'm trying to think of his name, and it's just gone out of my mind. But anyway, he gave it to me, a nice friend of mine, and it works. I didn't have to spend any money on it, and since I've been, I got a few tools and things for it, but since I've been turning now, it's kind of like I would like to have a nicer one. So, yeah, it's one of those things on the I'd like to have or wish list that I haven't checked off yet. So,
right beside the CNC.
Yeah. Yeah, it's one of those that I'd love to have, but I haven't checked it off yet.
I hear the guy at Garage Works makes a nice one.
Yeah, there's a guy out there. I think I don't remember what his name is, but they're orange, if I believe right. They're orange. Yeah, they're supposed to be pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, slightly orange.
Yeah, he's selling quite a few of them too.
Really? So the price is getting cheaper then, right?
Yeah. Good. Yeah.
I think you ought to bust an X carve and give them to the woodworkers on YouTube. Just to promote the business.
I think you ought to at least give everyone on the panel one. I mean, come on. Look at him snicker. He's sitting over here. Yeah, right.
Yeah,
I can hear in his mind right now talking about, yeah, whatever, dream on, jokers.
Right now he's thinking, if I do it, everybody but Donald.
Dave, I'll save you the money. I'll just take a picture of one and blow it up down to Office Depot and put it on my wall and say I got me a Garage Works CNC.
That's too funny. I remember to ask Jerry what kind of chuck he's got on there, because I got the same.
Yeah, I was going to ask him that too.
Having the same lathe. be nice to know. I think he's back.
Are you back?
All right, I'm back. Because I never set up any plans of what I'm doing, I just kind of go for it.
That's awesome.
And it might actually be better without the light on.
That's cool.
Very neat.
I like that.
And of course, it's not finished, but I don't do finishing on the lathe.
All right. Before we go any further, a lot of people have been talking about your tool carousel. Can you put the camera around or bring your tool carousel where we can see it? That's pretty cool.
It's actually screwed on to the lathe station here. It's on a Lazy Susan.
That's cool.
And it's got my push tool and my pin mandrels. Special tool for when I need things to disappear. Now, I did actually make one with Brian. We did a collaboration where we made identical ones. And that was on the wall behind this. But it got in the way when I put this cabinet up. I had too many pin blanks, so I had to get rid of that one.
Now, did you make a video? Somebody said you had a video of making that one particular there.
Yeah, I have a video of this tool carousel. I'm pretty bad with, I don't know what numbers they are or anything like that, but...
No, that's all right, because people were asking over in the chat section, so there you have it, guys. If you want to know how he made that tool carousel, go to his YouTube channel and look it up. That is awesome.
That's very neat.
So it's not screwed down all the way. If I screw it down, I can't finish it because it's a tight fit.
Well, if you don't finish on the lathe, how do you finish it?
Well, I do polyurethane. Brush on poly.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's all on the
brush
side.
on, brush off.
Brush on, sand off. Brush on again, sand off again.
I didn't say one of my beer cups. I won't do them on the machinery. I'll do them by hand, away from the machinery. So.
Now, you're talking about that the product that you clear coat or whatever you used on some of them. You said it was kind of dull.
The crystal coat.
Yeah, the crystal coat. I have a lot of customers though that I made some different pins that I show people with the various. Some of them I shot while they were turning. I shot them with spray lacquer pins, that, before I assembled them, which turned out beautiful. I buffed them up and everything, and then naturally the CA glue, and then the crystal coat. But a lot of the customers like that duller finish. They don't want the shiny pin. They want the kind of like medium finish. Now, my point is you've been doing this probably longer than I have, Jerry. Does that crystal coat protect the pin enough for when they use it on a daily basis with their hands that it doesn't wear off? Or, does it hold up pretty well?
It basically comes down to what kind of wood you're doing it on. Say the walnut pen, I sent Brian a walnut pen and stylus, and those were just crystal coat. So actually, you've had them for a couple years. You still got them, Brian?
Yeah, it looks just like bare wood.
Yeah, it's kind of more like it's more like unfinished look, maybe a little bit, but it's not quite as, I guess it's penetrating enough to keep the wood from getting affected by the oils in your hand.
I feel that they're better if you do like a CA finish and then sand and then use the crystal coat to buff it out. That way you don't have a lustrous shine, but you still kind of have that dull look, but it'll last longer.
Yeah. Well, I've got several pins out there with just the crystal coat on them, and we'll see.
It'll wear off.
Cuffs. A couple of my customers that bought them actually are using them on their office desk, so they're using them on a daily basis. And I told them up front, this is what they wanted. Now I don't know how long this is going to last, so let me know. So they've only had them like a little over a month or so. We'll see how that goes. See how long it lasts.
Yeah, I'd much prefer to do a 5 or 6 coat CA finish.
Yeah,
and a lot nicer on the pins.
Yeah, definitely.
I know some people don't like that gloss, but You know, I know there's 5 pen guys in Temple. So.
I've had some people ask me that they just want the natural feel of the wood there, and I'll tell them I can do that for you, but I ain't gonna guarantee how long it's gonna last for you, or not darken the wood or whatever.
Yeah, the oils in the skin, depending on how dirty their hands are, it can mess it up pretty quick. If it's softer like cherry, that's something I won't.
I know one guy that's a mechanic, and he wanted one like that. I'm like, dude, you got grease on your hands all the time.
You should be going for acrylic or something.
Acrylic, yeah, Lumelite.
Yeah, definitely. Something you can wipe off real easy. Jerry, what kind of chuck do you have for your lathe?
Oh, the chuck that I use, the one that I'm doing the bottle stoppers on, it's just a 3/4 bottle stopper chuck. But the chuck that I use is, I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah,
it's a Barracuda.
Down.
All the stuff's rolling around.
Right. Barracuda 2. Okay.
Barracuda 2, and it isn't cheap. It's worth a lot more than the lathe, but I always thought an accessory like that, with the different options that I can do almost anything, bowls, inside and outside grabbing, and all that, was worth investing a little in.
Yeah, you're probably right. I'm just going to get over the fact that my chuck is going to cost more than my lathe did. So it's one of those things that the support tools should never really cost more than the ship itself. So,
yeah. That just means that my next lathe has to be like Carl Jacobson or something,
Well, yeah, you got to be like Carl.
I did have a guy come by the show and offer me his Powermatic, a couple years old, in pretty good condition, for the very low price of $3,000 cash.
Oh.
I had to decline at the time, but
geez, I wonder why.
yeah, no, I mean, it's a great lathe and all that, but I don't think something used should be that much. If I'm paying that much, I want to see the crate it came in.
Yeah. And I was at a wood show, and they talking to someone about the Nova chuck. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, we get you all set up and hooked up. It'll fit perfectly on your Harbor Freight. And they give me the price of a few $100 bills. I'm like, yeah, I think I'm going to stop right there.
Yeah.
I panicked.
Yeah, I've been looking at this one for at least 3 years before I finally bought one.
And they can turn, how big is it? You hold bowls, right?
Yeah, it'll hold bowls. The lathe itself will only do 10-inch diameter.
Yeah.
Before I could afford it, I actually made this faceplate. It mounts to the faceplate, but it's a chuck.
Oh, neat.
And it actually works. Make sure these things are tight, because if that thing's spinning, it'll shoot off.
Yeah, I've already had one bowl go airborne on me because the screws from the faceplate loosened up, and I didn't realize they were loose. And next thing you know, it was hitting me in the back of the head.
Yeah, this is half of the bowl, because it shattered when I tried to hollow it out.
Yeah, that's what mine looked like too. After hit my head, then hit the floor.
That's why I haven't done a whole lot of bowl turn. Well, I haven't done any bowl turning, to tell you the truth, because all I got is the faceplate, and can't really afford to chuck right now. So
yeah. I've only turned one bowl, and I hate to say that because I need to try to turn some more, but I've got a chuck I bought. It's cheaper. It's not a Barracuda or a Nova or anything. I bought a chuck from over at the Tampa Woodworking Show, but mine's an older lathe like yours, Jerry. Mine will only do yours is a smaller lathe. Mine's will do 36-inch long, but it'll only do up to 10-inch bowls, so I'm really limited as to what I can do on it. But I turned that one bowl that I bought a piece of maple from when I went over to the Rockler store. I bought a piece of square maple and turned it, and it turned out nice. I had a good time turning it. I just got to come up with some more wood big enough to turn bowls with.
I was doing fine, but then I went to hollow it out, and I was using not the rough and gouge, but the other smaller gouge, and it started kicking on me. I was like, okay. And somebody told me try doing it with the scraper, so I may give it another shot at some point in time.
Cool.
Now this is a Carter & Sons tool. It's a hole gouge, but I found out after I bought it and paid a small fortune for this that there's no way I can use it on this lathe. It's too big. I try and it's just not. So it's a really nice tool for when I get a new lathe, but it doesn't really work that well with this lathe.
Sounds to me like a good excuse to get a new lathe. Your tool won't work on it.
Yeah, unfortunately. I've been restricted this last couple months because I finally got approved to buy this house. In August I closed finally, so it's a really tough last 6 months without being able to buy anything major, but it'll be worth it because I don't have to move my shop.
Yeah, that's a plus, definitely.
Good to see my sponsor over in the chat section, Frank Condon. He's over there. He's with the Devobel Technologies. Thank you for watching tonight, Frank.
Hi, Frank. I'm looking forward to my website.
He's the one that's actually giving away the websites. So everybody say hi, Frank.
Hi, Frank.
Hi, Frank.
But I already did.
Yeah, I know. Very generous of the man. So, we're rocking down toward the end. We got a few more minutes. Toward the end is somebody said something today. How long does it take for you to make the kaleidoscope, Jerry?
The kaleidoscope is pretty much about 15 minutes. The only difference is you go through it with a Forstner bit, and it mounts on the pin mandrel just like a regular pin with big metal washers or spacers. Of course, I don't know where they are.
Do you have a YouTube video of you making that?
Most likely I do. You know, it was 186 videos last year, so I can't really remember what I did.
I was going to say, that's pretty bad when you made so many videos you don't remember a video.
I know.
186. What'd you do in your free time?
Yeah, really.
Yeah, you know, I was sleeping a lot, playing some video games, you know. All the easy stuff.
That's pretty. I mean, 15 minutes is pretty quick to make a.
Yeah, right.
So.
Yeah, there's in the very beginning, the only style I was making was the egg shape because that's the one Penn State shows off, and it seemed like it was getting boring to me, so I went ahead and I just made up a whole bunch of different shapes, and I think the customers are really thrilled with seeing not only a unique shape, but they come up and pick it up and say, "Oh, that's a cool salt and pepper shaker," and it's like, no, it's a kaleidoscope, and I'm working on a display so people know what it is, but yeah, it doesn't take very long at all. Once you've made a few, you get used to it. You know, prepping the blanks. I have to do a ton more bottle stoppers, and I've already got to get started on Christmas because I'm barely making enough to keep up with what we're selling every week. So I gotta start pushing it.
All right, Jerry. You're gonna have to do. This is a tradition around here for the guests to woodshop confession time. You're gonna have to confess. So what that is what is the most boneheaded thing that you've done in your shop that afterwards you went like, why the heck did I do that?
Well, I've got a fine example of that sitting right here. Now I've got two pieces. And
it used to be one.
That used to be a lathe tool.
Ooh.
I got upset and I slammed it several times on my lathe here, and I chipped the paint too. But after I destroyed the tool, I pretty much just turned the power off and went inside.
You mean you got so mad you broke the tool?
I broke the tool. I blew out. I think I blew out 3 acrylic pen blanks in a row, and I just got so mad. It was so hot. You know, this heat. It wasn't me. It was the heat. So.
Oh, I know what you mean. I was out in my shop this afternoon. Florida's normally humid, but we've had since that little tropical wave or whatever tropical storm that went through. Actually, was last week. It has left so much residual humidity that you don't have to do nothing but walk outside and stand there for 5 minutes. You'll start sweating. There's so much humidity in the air. And I was out in my shop this afternoon, and I literally, well, I went out there about 9:30, 10 o'clock, worked till about noon to come in for lunch. I literally had to go in and take a shower and change my clothes because my clothes were soaking wet as if I had been in a pool. And then I went back out this afternoon and literally had to come in about 3:30, 4 o'clock and take a shower and change my clothes again because literally they were like I had been in a pool. That's how much I sweat. This is terrible. But so that's great. I haven't lost my temper. I've lost my temper in the shop a few times, but I've never damaged any of my tools. I think.
Yeah,
I love my tools too much.
I've thrown a few things out there, but I have not broken anything.
Yeah, like a pencil and turned off your Wi-Fi.
All right, jeez, what a mistake.
Oh, I feel your pain there, Jerry. I'm not the. What was it Russ said? I do have a temper sometimes, and after you break the same thing 3 or 4 times, it's like.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we got to get out of here. We're rocking down on time, and also for y'all that Dave Gatton's show over on Dave Gatton's channel. Dave Gatton's CNC is right after us, so go over there and check him out and show Dave the love from over here. Thanks for all y'all over there: Jim Brashear, Robert Evans, Al Forte.
Keyword.
It's been, oh man, y'all are like.
Did you not? I posted it right over there. Keyword.
That was a long time ago, Chris.
And it was shown.
It was shown.
Right.
And I was running my mouth at the time.
Yeah, I'm with Donald.
That could have been any
Wood
time.
Traveler, I can't think of his name. Spiritual Splinters, which is Mark Stallings, I believe it is, right?
Stallings, yeah.
Yeah, Mark Stallings. He's been over there. Thank you guys, all those for you've been over there. I appreciate y'all very, very much for watching and commenting and being with us tonight and all the questions y'all have done. Don't forget about the website giveaway. All the rules, everything you need to know is on my website. Go to simplywoodencreations.com. If you go along the header up there, you'll see contest. Click on it, hover over it, it'll open up a drop box, go to the giveaway, everything's there and explained. You have to be a subscriber to me here on YouTube, like my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, DeVogel's Twitter and Facebook, all that kind of good stuff, and then send me an email. All that information is over there on simplywoodencreations.com/contest/giveaway. You'll find all that over there. Thank you, Jerry. I appreciate it very, very much.
That's right.
It was. I enjoyed that. I really got to go back and look at some of your videos. I like your little carousel thing for your tools and everything. So I think we're rocking on down. Anybody got anything else?
Good.
Nobody got anything else? So we're going to get out of here. Just remember, if women don't find you handsome, they should at least find you handy.
They don't find me at all.
Just give me sawdust, lots of sawdust, all around me and everywhere. I like it flying all around my shop and even in my beard and hair. Good night, everybody. Thanks a lot for watching. Thank all y'all.
Good night, everybody.
Night, guys.